Coca-Cola is the most famous soft drink in the world. There are many different versions on the market, and one of these is Coca Cola Zero, sold in 44 countries. Those who follow a weight loss diet or is simply attentive to his health, he prefers Coca Zero to traditional Coca-Cola. So much so that the association has become more and more widespread. Sugar-free drink equals healthy drink. To analyze the differences between Coca-Cola and Coca Cola Zero, let's start with the nutritional values. Coca-Cola for 100 ml provides 4 to 2 kcal and contains 10.6 grams of sugar. A can of 330 ml contains therefore 35 grams of sugar, that is 7 teaspoons. The Coca-Cola Zero instead, for 100 ml, provides 0.2 kcal and contains 0 grams of sugar. Among the ingredients of Coca-Cola we find water, sugar, carbon dioxide, color E150D, phosphoric acid acidifier, natural flavors, including caffeine. Among the ingredients of Coca-Cola Zero instead, we find the same ingredients as traditional Coke and sodium cyclamate, acesulfame K, and aspartame. In the European version of Coca Zero, there is sodium cyclamate, additive code E952. It is an artificial sweetener 30/50 times sweeter than sugar. However, it has remained at the center of numerous controversies for many years. In the United States, on the other hand, it was banned about 40 years ago by the Food and Drug Administration, a U.S. government body in charge of supervising food. The decision was made after discovering that in the rats to which it was administered, it caused bladder cancer, as well as testicular atrophy and cardiovascular problems. Numerous studies that were subsequently conducted concluded that the carcinogenicity found was typical of the rat, as it metabolizes sodium cyclamate in a different way from how humans do. Subsequently, after further studies, the United Nations Organization for Food and Agriculture expressed favorably with respect to the daily consumption of sodium cyclamate in the maximum amount of 11 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. In the US, it is still banned and further studies are still in progress. Coca-Cola Zero owes its name to the fact that it is sugar-free. How is it possible? Artificial sweeteners are used instead of sugar, such as aspartame and acesulfame K, which are able to maintain the sweet taste but with a lower calorie content. However, this does not mean that we can consume it every day because it is sugar-free. The sweeteners topic has always been very complex and with very conflicting opinions. To date, for each sweetener, intake limits have been set within which their consumption is considered safe. According to other studies, however, their excessive consumption could cause impaired glucose tolerance, thus increasing the onset of metabolic diseases and alterations in the intestinal bacterial microflora. Let's try to explain the reason in a simple way. When we ingest sugars, the concentration of glucose in the blood increases, which is the so-called glycemia. Our body is equipped with a regulation system which allows us to keep blood sugar below a certain level. If the levels rise, the pancreas secretes insulin, which orders the liver to take excess glucose from the blood and store it. On the other hand, when we take a sweetener, we deceive our body because we are not taking glucose. Appetite is stimulated, but the absence of calories puts the body in anticipation of something that will never come. However, they stimulate the release of insulin and leptin, thus increasing the sense of hunger and altering the sense of satiety. In the next few years, we will certainly have more precise answers, thanks to the further studies that will come out. The key, as always, is moderate consumption without ever abusing it. Experts advise to limit the consumption of these drinks. Those who drink Coca-Cola just a couple of times a year can choose the traditional one. Those who are on a diet or want to limit their sugar intake can opt for Coca Cola Zero. It must never be a substitute for mineral water and not even a habit.